While One Piece World Seeker is an enjoyable game to play with a beautiful overworld, $60 is just way too much money to ask for this game due to the lack of content. What's up guys, KD360 here representing YaBoiJake, and we got this One Piece World Seeker review here for you. I know the game came out last month, but I'm not even gonna lie, I've been playing other games, but I finally finished this game and we're gonna get to this review finally. Now when it comes to One Piece, I don't know a lot about what's been going on past when Crocodile beat Luffy up. And I don't really want to take the time to watch One Piece because 800 episodes is just way too much. I'm probably just going to go find a summary video somewhere on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I can find one. But I'm not about to watch 800 episodes of One Piece just to figure out what's going on. I'm sorry, that's just not my thing. Like, I like One Piece, but not enough to watch 800 episodes of it. If you told me Naruto was 800 episodes, I wouldn't watch Naruto either. And I love Naruto, but I just can't do it. Anyways, let's get into the story. So first off, let's talk about the story. So the game starts with Luffy and the Straw Hat crew on Prison Island. I think Luffy's about to be executed. I don't really remember the beginning, but most of the Straw Hat crew has already been imprisoned except for like Nami and Zoro. I don't know who else was imprisoned. I don't really remember, but some of them were imprisoned. You gotta find them. You find out a bunch of pirates and like other people are coming to the island, even people from the Navy and the world government, and you gotta figure out why the heck is everybody gathering here? What is the purpose of this, along with your members of the Straw Hat crew? In my opinion, the story in this game is actually pretty solid and pretty emotional, and I'd say the thing that makes this game worth playing the most, not worth $60, but at least worth playing, is the story itself, because in my opinion, the gameplay does not get much better. Now let's talk about the gameplay. I guess there isn't a whole lot to say. The game is mainly like a button masher. You usually just mash X and you beat stuff up. But there's other stuff you can do too with Luffy. He's got two modes. I don't remember what they're called because I don't really watch One Piece like that. But all I know is one mode gives you swift attacks and the ability to dodge. And the other one gives you more hard-hitting attacks with the ability to block. I found that mode a lot more useful towards the end game because you fight robots and they're really annoying. There's also something called observation hockey, which is the equivalent of listening mode in The Last of Us, because you know, like, a lot of games gotta have that now. Lets you see where enemies are, lets you find NPCs that you're looking for, stuff like that. You have a skill tree that allows you to expand on what you can do in the game. You have like these super attacks. There's one called Red Hawk that I use a whole lot even towards the end game because it's just really good. It tends to one-shot like every enemy that I fight with the exception of like bosses. And Emperor's Hockey, which is like really broken. It just wipes out every enemy on the screen, and any enemy that wasn't wiped out just gets stunned, so you can just do a takedown on them. Yeah, the game does have stealth elements. You can take down enemies if you sneak up behind them. Kind of weird doing that as Luffy, but you know, that's just me. Fourth gear is also a thing in this game, but that's a thing you have to unlock as you progress through the story. You can have Usopp make new gear for you. Yes, you can equip gear onto Luffy, like rings and stuff that will boost your stats. I didn't find it that important. I didn't even really change gear that much throughout the game, only like twice, and then it didn't really matter. You can also send members of the Straw Hat crew to go get certain materials for you, but it requires a boxed lunch, and the Straw Hat crew members have preferences on what lunches they prefer, and that dictates what materials you get if you send them out to look for stuff. There's a fast travel feature, but you can't use it until you learn about it in the game. Like, the game has to teach you through the tutorial about fast travel, and you can't use it until then. And that's kind of frustrating because I saw it was a thing on the game's map and I'm like, wait, why can't I use it? And then when the pop-up comes up and it's like, oh, now you can use fast travel, like, that didn't make me excited. That actually made me mad. I'm like, are you serious? I can't use fast travel until the game tells me about it, even though if you look at the map it says fast travel right there. That's really dumb. Also, on top of that, after chapter 14, you can't use fast travel for the rest of the game, and that's really annoying because the last remaining missions ask that you go around the whole map, which is pretty big, without using fast travel and defeat waves of enemies in specific areas. And I felt like that was done to make the game seem longer because, to be honest, you can beat this game in less than 10 hours, maybe even less than 9. I ended up beating the game in 10 hours and 6 minutes, but I did a whole lot of side quests and material gathering and getting lost in the overworld before I beat the game. So that's how that happened. I'm pretty sure you can beat this game in less than 9 hours, which is extremely disappointing for a game that's asking you for $60. In my opinion, the best part of the gameplay is actually just swinging around the city or in the woods and stuff. It's actually really fun, but if this was gonna be the most fun part of the game, I should have just bought Spider-Man instead. Now I'm going to introduce you to probably one of the most disappointing gameplay mechanics of this game, the karma system. While it may sound cool, it actually has no effect on the story and it can't be negatively impacted in any way at all. But pretty much the karma system is what it sounds like. It dictates how much characters like you, and you can increase your karma by fulfilling specific requirements like beating up pirates, beating up members of the Navy, completing specific side quests, gathering certain materials, traveling a certain amount of the world. Each character's requirements are different, but all of them require you to complete specific side quests, but they also have their own unique requirements. Like Jean's requires you to travel a certain amount of the world, while other characters want you to gather certain materials, things like that. But I'm very disappointed in this system because they could have done a lot more with it. I would also like to mention that I played this game on PC. The reason I say that is because I had constant crashing issues with the game, mainly when I would try to swing on an object or when the game would try to load. One time I tried to boot up the game, and when I tried to load into my save, the game crashed. Most of the time, like I said, it happens when I'm trying to swing on stuff, usually in Steel City. I'll try to swing off of a tree, and when I get onto the second object and try to swing, the game will crash. It's really frustrating. I don't know if anyone else had that problem or if the game crashes at all on console, but for me it crashed quite often on PC. In conclusion, I actually found this game enjoyable to play, and I did not mind the mindless beat 'em up elements, because if you give me different ways to beat people up, then I don't really mind it personally, but I could see people easily getting bored of this game due to the lack of depth in the combat system and the boring repetitive side quests that you get, which are usually just you beating someone up, finding someone within a time limit or something like that. The quests aren't that different, so it's understandable if somebody gets bored quickly with this game. I personally enjoyed the combat and the story, and that was what kept me playing the game. But the lack of content, how short the story is, that really has a negative impact on this game, and I can't justify paying $60 for it. If I had to put a value on it, I would say the game is worth like $25. And also they want $30 more for you to get the episode pass. I don't know what comes in it besides costumes, but if you're a One Piece fan and you enjoyed the game, go ahead and buy it, but I'm not trying to pay $90 for a game like this. Anyways, that concludes my review of One Piece World Seeker. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow my Twitter, follow the group channel's Twitter, and check out some of the other content we got. Anyways, I'm out of here. Sayonara.